Those two back, and they have a chance to win a national championship as SEC play starts. Stuckey with the first serve. This is Peyton Chamberlain the set. The first kill is drilled home by KJ Burgess, one of the two transfers in the starting lineup for the Sooners. She came in from Utah. We'll see Kari Geisberger, who transferred in from Loyola Marymount. They've been big difference makers.
And great pass by Wallace, but then also Peyton Chamberlain going right, establishing the middle with KJ Burgess, getting her going. That opens it up for the outside hitters right away.
First serve from Kelly Kimoa. She targets Isabel Martin, the UNLV transfer, who has been very good, but veteran presence back there on the service line from Kimoa.
Absolutely. She's such a great server. They've really dialed it in with the serving. That's been a huge emphasis since Erin Mansfield came into the program.
Again, the target goes to Isabel Martin. Big swing from Taylor Parks, and the block goes out of bounds. And so there is the difference maker up front for Kennedy Martin. Only 5 matches this year, but preseason All-SEC. Played with the U.S. Collegiate National Under-21 team. Won gold at the NORCECA Continental Championships. And there's the error. Florida, one of the best serving teams in the country, and certainly in the SEC.
Yeah. Credit to the Sooners right here, getting off to a good start. I think putting a lot of pressure from the service line, Chad, to get this going.
Here's an impact freshman, Jasmine Ellison from Toronto. Really extroverted personality, part of a good grassroots program that's developed up in Canada. Stuckey with a good set. This one tipped. It hits the antenna, went off Shelton, and then lands on the Oklahoma side. So the initial kill of the night for Kennedy Martin.
And definitely look for Stuckey. She's gonna find Kennedy Martin for sure. Already found her 2 kills.
Ellie McKissick, the libero, back on the service line. 17 aces for her this year, 8th best in the SEC. Chamberlain the set, Shelton the strike, and there's McKissick getting a paw on that one. Chamberlain goes right back to Shelton. McKissick with the dig. Stuckey the set, this time AC Fitzpatrick goes off the block and down for the Gators to tie it at 3.
And AC Fitzpatrick, she's such a smart player. High volleyball IQ. I would say she's part of the workhorse of this team. She can just find the open court. She just got a good court sense. But also, let's talk about McKissick with those digs. 2 digs in that rally.
Chamberlain the set, the blast from the middle by Martin is blocked. Stuckey set this time, ripped by Auguste. And the Gators take a 4-3 lead. Jayla Auguste, freshman, who has jumped right into this thing. Huge vertical leap. She was a high jumper, really didn't get into volleyball that much until her high school years, Kelly.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a phenomenal athlete. And that's what happens when you take a phenomenal athlete and just start training. I mean, anything's possible. She's going to be fun to watch.
McKissick hits that one long, and we're tied at 4. The side out goes to Oklahoma. And this is part of the development of Alexis Shelton, as she has become much better in service and serve-receive for Oklahoma to make her a more fully rotational 6-rotation player.
Absolutely, and look for her to play right back defense. She's going to...
Fitzpatrick fires off the Oklahoma block, and out of bounds it goes for a 5-4 lead for the Gators.
Yeah, and Fitzpatrick just recognizing that block, right? Off the net, going for it, going high hands, just tooling the block.
Fitzpatrick began her collegiate career with 2 seasons at Penn State. This is her 3rd at Florida. She's from Ocala, Florida, transferred to this program to become a little closer to home. Kimoa just has to play it across. Stuckey the set. Auguste blocked by Burks. Good dig there by Jasmine Ellison. Right back it comes, and it's swept by Camille Gibson, just wide.
Oh, that was a tough one. I almost thought that ball was in. But credit to Florida's defense.
There's Gibson. She's made an impact into this Oklahoma program coming in. She's a freshman from Crossroads, Texas, and then transferred in from Tennessee, where she sat out last season. And in the middle, the Sooners set Lydia Martin, the graduate student from Anderson, South Carolina, transferred in from Liberty prior to last season.
And she's off to a good start this season, Chad. Made a huge change. Just in the offseason was great for her this summer. She was with the collegiate national team, just training out in Anaheim.
Stuckey's set comes for Fitzpatrick, and that's down. Crafty as she takes that one across and just in front of Shelton.
Yeah, and that's the second kill that she's put to zone 4, which is in left front court. We call it zone 4. She just sees an open spot. They're triple blocking, right? So that off blocker is now, isn't an off blocker, so there's a lot of court space. So good on her recognizing the triple block.
She rips that serve, but it's long. And 7-6. Oklahoma gets the side out. They rotate in. Kari Geisberger, the grad transfer, played 3 seasons at Loyola and Marymount, where Mary Mansfield was previously the head coach. She stayed at Loyola and Marymount last year as Mary Mansfield came to Oklahoma. And then she went into the transfer portal this offseason. Mary Mansfield and staff happy to have her. Molly Kanan plays this one across. The swing comes from Isabel Martin. Chamberlain the set. Geisberger gets her first kill of the night.
What about that dig by Kimaha? Keeping that ball alive. That ball, she put that ball perfect to Peyton Chamberlain. And then, of course, Geisberger putting the ball away. But look at that dig. What a veteran dig, libero.
Callie Kimoa is closing in on second place all time in digs in Oklahoma history. And there's the length of Geisberger, just able to linger up in the air and block that one right down.
Yeah, you can't tip on Kari Geisberger. She reaches so high, and that's exactly what happened. Great job by her, recognizing the ball and then just putting it straight down.
Mary Mansfield said, got to know her family very well in the recruiting process before she came to Loyola Marymount. So when she went into the transfer portal, her parents were the first people that he called to see about her maybe coming to Norman.
And she's been such a great addition to the program. He called her a connector, connecting everyone here. Immediately when she got on campus, she's one of the new players and started connecting people right away.
Oklahoma 4 straight points, but that serve is wide from Peyton Chamberlain, the side out for the Gators. And Florida will rotate in some fresh faces. You see Jalen Auguste goes to the bench. Taylor Parks is in. Chamberlain the set. Shelton tips it across. There's Parks. Big swing down the line and the blast for Isabel Martin. What an addition she has been. Redshirt senior came in from UNLV, where she was 2 times the Mountain West Conference Player of the Year.
And not to mention, here, starting right away, doing 6 rotations for the Gators. That's such a huge responsibility, and she's doing it well.
And what a great serve for Taylor Parks. That's her 19th ace of the year. She was so good when Stuckey was out in the setter role, but she is super valuable still for Mary Wise and this staff in this role right here, with 19 aces to bring her off the bench and serve.
She has such a phenomenal preseason, running the offense for the Gators. She did a wonderful job. And
just as you say that, the serve goes wide.
Yeah. But what a strong server she is, actually. So
10 apiece. And back to the service line for Oklahoma goes Whitney Wallace, freshman from Los Gatos, California. Her 5th consecutive start. And this Oklahoma staff, they really like her demeanor. You could watch her play an entire match and really not even know what the score is by her reaction. And that serve is long. So back-to-back service errors, 1 for each side. 11-10 Gators here in this opening set. The SEC opener for both teams, and also the home opener for Oklahoma. All 8 of their non-conference matches played away from the Caslen Fieldhouse. To the service line is Stuckey. Shelton takes it in, then gets the swing right into the block. And up high to tip it down is Alec Roth, but wide it goes. Roth got a good piece of that, but Shelton, it's not always power with Alexis Shelton.
right, she's so crafty. She knows where the block, she sees it. Look at that set by Peyton Chamberlain. And just smart right off of Roth's hands, out of bounds.
Kimoa back on the service line, taken by McKissick. And the blast hits the tape off the hand of Roth this time. Shelton plays it over. Roth, too good that time. She blasted that one right at Peyton Chamberlain, and the Gators take a 12-11 lead.
What transition for Roth. Really working, going side to side on the block, and then coming off and being up and ready. And Stuckey finding her. Great decision by her.
And back to the service line is Isabel Martin. Little overpass and easily taken care of by Fitzpatrick as they target Burgess with the serve. And on the overpass, an easy one for Fitzpatrick to take care of.
Yeah, just a strong float serve. Called a float serve that there's no spin on the ball and it actually kind of floats in the air.
Martin with another serve. Chamberlain sets, and there is Lydia Martin striking.
What a beautiful cutback by Lydia Martin. Driving it to right back. Getting that elbow high. Of course, beautiful set by Peyton Chamberlain.
Back to the service line is Jasmine Ellison. 10 aces back there to lead Oklahoma this year. The freshman from Toronto. Good opening set, back and forth. 13-12 Gators. Stuckey for Martin, and it goes wide. Was there a touch? There was not a touch. So point Oklahoma to tie it at 13.
Yeah, and I'm going to give credit to the OU block. Putting pressure on Kennedy Martin to force her out of bounds. With Lydia Martin and Alexa Shelton to put up a huge block.
Which team will gain momentum one way or the other, or are we headed right down to the wire in this one? Martin got the dig and the blast by Fitzpatrick. The side out for the Gators at 14-13.
Stuckey so far doing a nice job of her distribution, right? Getting everyone involved right away. Keeps the OU defense honest.
McKissick with the serve, just over the top of the tape. Chamberlain sets, Shelton goes cross court. There's McKissick. Martin able to dig that one out. Stuckey set, and that goes off the tape, off the antenna, and out of bounds. We are tied at 14.
Yeah, and that was just a rare error that we're going to see by Alexa Stuckey. Just over-rotated a little too much, put the ball too tight to the net.
Here is Alexa Shelton for Oklahoma. This opening set tied at 14. E.C. Fitzpatrick already leading the charge for Florida with 5 kills in the opening set. Tight set for Stuckey. There's Fitzpatrick. And on the receiving end for Oklahoma was Ellison. Big block by Martin and a gust. But it goes wide. 15-14 Oklahoma. And there's our media break in a very good opening set in the SEC opener. 15-14 Oklahoma on top in the debut of the Sooners here at home this season. To SEC Freshman of the Year, and then last year that big match with Wisconsin, #1 versus #3. She goes down with an injury, just worked so hard to get back. There you see the heavy knee brace, the recuperation supported by the staff and teammates here, and first action in 368 days for her. Standing ovation. Everyone just marveling at her ability to come back and play at such a high level immediately, Kelly. I mean,
absolutely, and she just delivered a beautiful ball to AC Fitzpatrick. And Fitzpatrick putting that ball deep corner for the Sooners, and Sooners just kind of caught standing there looking at it. So great.
And there's the serving error by Kennedy Martin. And Kennedy Martin has also been battling injury this year, twisted an ankle against Colorado State, so she fought that. This is only her 5th match of the year, and as they continue to get her healthier and healthier, she'll become a more prominent player. Lydia Martin, the serve for Oklahoma. 16-15, Sooners lead the opening set. There's Fitzpatrick, blocked and down, and KJ Burgess, the Utah transfer, right in the middle of that for Oklahoma. But a big block that's gonna go wide. 16 apiece.
And there we go. Fitzpatrick again, just for her 7th kill of the match.
It's Emily Cannon, and she can get on a service run. Not this time as it goes long. Cannon had a 13-point service run against Buffalo over the weekend.
Yeah, she was lights out from the service line. And she's serving tough balls. It's not just getting, just not one of those coach tells you get over the net. No, she's serving aggressive balls.
Peyton Chamberlain back to the service line. Stuckey the set, the big blast from behind by Kennedy Martin to tie it at 17.
And Kennedy Martin a weapon from the back row as well. Hitting the pipe, Alexis Stuckey finding her, and then she just driving it deep corner.
That is 4 kills for Kennedy Martin. Had nearly 500 kills last year. Shelton, the target there, receives it cleanly. The tip goes right into the block of Isabel Martin. And now played across by Camille Gibson. Tight set. The joust is down off the hands of Geisberger for Oklahoma.
Yeah, and that's smart by Geisberger. Alexis Stuckey, she's on the front row. She's a live setter, meaning, and she was going to dump the ball, so heads up play by her, just putting up a huge block on Stuckey.
Geisberger, 3 seasons at Loyola Marymount. Was there a season ago out of Green Bay, California. Whitney Wallace puts the serve into the air. Roth swings cross court, and there's Whitney Wallace. Shelton, a big swing. Kissick plays it into the air. This target comes to Isabel Martin, and the Sooner block is led by Geisberger.
There's that huge Sooner block. Geisberger and Burgess. That is a wall that it's going to be hard. When they form and they put up forehands, it's going to be really hard to get the ball through.
1917 Oklahoma. Kari Geisberger goes about 6'7".
Look at it right here. You can always set it up. Look at that huge block by Geisberger.
To utilize that length.
You have to just use her hands. You have to use her arms. You have to go high. You just have to. And with that particular set, it was all the way to the pen. Geisberger is all the way by the antenna, right? There wasn't really anything else she could do except use the block, swipe it out of bounds, go high off hands, and hopefully get a tool or recycle it, meaning that the ball comes off the block, comes back into the court, and you get another opportunity to go at it again.
You see the stat for Oklahoma, second in the SEC in blocks per set at just under 3. Aaron Mansfield said that's been the strength of the team so far. We know that Alexis Shelton and her numbers are going to grab everyone's attention, and likely they should. But they are 10th in the country in blocks per set, second in the SEC.
Yeah, and I think adding Geisberger to the mix, especially on the right side, she's going to see most of the hitters with, you know, the offense for your opponents usually going from the outside. The majority of the ball is going from the left side of the court, or the outside attacker, if you will. So she's been a huge asset to the Sooners in that role.
And as you said, to their culture as well, and helping build that. 2 kills and 2 blocks for Kari Geisberger so far tonight. Timeout. What adjustments, you know, Mary Wise, 34th season as head coach at Florida. What might you do a little differently or be imparting to your team? Is maybe that right there, feed Isabel Martin, who's off to a great season start.
Yeah, and I think also the talk is kind of, let's settle into it. They've already had 6 service errors, so that's a lot, Chad, in the first set alone. So, and with only 1 ace. So kind of just settling, take a deep breath, and kind of get back into our game.
And the Gators lead the SEC in aces.
And
right on cue, there's Stuckey, 84 on the season.
Yeah, and that helps. That helps their service cause right here is getting an ace, a rare ace on Callie Kamoa.
There's Stuckey back there for another go. Kamoa can't handle this one, so 2 in a row for Stuckey on the service line now.
And you can see they're just going after Kamoa. And Stuckey just putting it right on target.
Timeout taken by Oklahoma. New rules with regard to liberos this season in collegiate volleyball, Kelly. You can have 2 per set. They can rotate back there on the back row. So you could theoretically, and some teams have elected to use 1 libero when you're serving and another when you're receiving serve.
Correct. So you can have a defensive one, and then you can have a passing one, if you will. So they can swap in between when the other team is serving or when your team is serving. So I've only seen a couple of teams that are using that right now in the country, but right now, not tonight. Both teams are using just their 1 liberos, and they're very good liberos, if you will.
You know, it's also an interesting point. Neither of these teams utilizing a 6-2. Now, you know how good Alexis Stuckey is. Taylor Parks has played extremely well this year. And then Peyton Chamberlain, the primary setter for Oklahoma, very good. But she's had some knee soreness from time to time. So they've been able to utilize a couple of different setters. So you got a 5-1 or a 6-2. Neither of these teams, despite having 2 very good setters. Neither will play a 6-2. At least we don't think they will.
We don't think they will. So you got the 5-1, right? You've got the 5 hitters with the 1 setter. So the setter, she's setting from every rotation on the court. So she's setting when she's on the front row, and she's also setting on the back row. With the 6-2, the setters are only setting from the back row. So when they rotate to the front row, they switch out with a hitter. So theoretically, not 2 different setters. So
and let's be honest, when you have 2 who are as good at setting as these 2 are, you want them setting most balls on the court, right?
Absolutely, but on the flip side of that, a lot of these teams have huge offensive weapons sitting on their bench.
True.
So then that's always in the coach's mind. Okay, what do you go with? And for either team, I think both teams tonight have the opportunity that they could go into a 6-2 seamlessly.
So this is a 4-0 scoring run. 3 of the points won on the serve of Stuckey, and there's another one. She may just polish this set off for the Gators. Timeout again called by Oklahoma. This was a couple of points ago here, Kelly. Confusion.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can see Kennedy Martin, she's just coming off the net. She's starting to transition. She's getting off the net to come and hit. It happens. Absolutely. It's just part of the game. Of recognizing when you transition, you got to recognize where the ball is to get out of the setter's way.
It's interesting. At Florida's timeout, I asked you, what might you be talking to your team about if you're Mary Wise over there? And what'd you say?
I said
6 service errors.
Yeah.
And now it's 5 points in a row, 1 on their serve.
Yeah, they just needed to settle in. They were just kind of that, the anxiousness, the jitters, right? First, hey, a 15 Florida, they have the jitters, right? These are student athletes. They get excited, they get amped up, and being in a new gym, right? I would say the court here at McCaslin is a little bit confined, right? So you don't have a lot of space. Service from the service line,
sure,
right, that they may not be used to, and also it brings your dimensions in and makes it just different perspective.
So great to see college volleyball in the spotlight. Nationally televised games on ABC and on ESPN, in fact, coming up this week, and Florida will be part of it. 12th ranked Kentucky, national champions back in 2020. Kentucky, a 2-time reigning national champs.
No problem.
No easy ones. Shelton goes down the line, but called just wide, and Oklahoma's saying they thought there was a touch. We'll see if Aaron Mansfield challenges. He has the green card up, and he looks over, and we will, it appears, have a challenge. Our first of the night, as Tim McKinnon is going to tell us what he's looking at.
The ruling on the court is point Florida. Oklahoma is challenging a touch on the block.
I am so glad we have this in collegiate volleyball. We have sat for years wondering at times what the reviews are, and we appreciate it. Now, Alexis Shelton seemed pretty sure of it. We'll get another look and be able to tell a little more closely.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. At first, she seemed really confident about it. And then I thought I saw her say, no, maybe not. You can see Alexis Stuckey, she was in the right position. Her actually her right foot was outside of the court just a little bit, which could be scary because if the ball hits your foot and it's out of bounds, that's a kill for the other team. But she had a really good view of the ball going out, and it did look like the ball was out.
Remember, this is the first match period this year at McCaslin Fieldhouse in Norman, so they're kind of working out the bugs a little bit, getting the replay review system up and going. So this first set has been really back and forth, and neither team has led by more than 3 points until this service run that Florida has gotten, and it's been Stuckey back there on the service line predominantly doing most of the damage. We'll see on the review.
After review, the ruling on the court is confirmed. Oklahoma will lose their challenge.
So Oklahoma, 1 challenge remaining. You get 2. If you win your challenge, you keep that one. And then you would get another one if the match goes to a 5th set. So Oklahoma down to just 1 challenge unless we get to a 5th set. It also gives Oklahoma a chance to maybe regroup. Florida's on a roll right now with a 4-point lead.
Yeah, absolutely. Just kind of settle down right here and serve receive.
What a run, though, by Stuckey. Kimoa on the receive. Chamberlain the set. Shelton blocked by Martin and Roth. And there's Martin once again, Kennedy Martin, but she can't get it pushed down. This time Isabel Martin up high. Kimoa there for Oklahoma. Shelton cross court, that one is in. Just a rocket to get an important side out for Oklahoma.
What a huge defensive play by the Sooners, keeping that ball alive. KJ Burgess keeping that ball up. And then Alexis Shelton, you can see that skill that she has. And going sharp cross court.
Callie Kimoa serving for Oklahoma. Stuckey set comes to Isabel Martin, who gives Florida its first set point of the night.
And we've got to give credit to Alexis Stuckey on that set. She delivered that ball perfectly to the pin outside of the Sooner block. So she had a small hole, small window, and she just drilled that ball down the line.
Isabel Martin back on set point for the Gators. Chamberlain goes wide right. Geisberger. So Geisberger making a big difference for Oklahoma here in this first set.
Yeah, and offensively, Geisberger going for it, right? She's going aggressive. She's going all out. And sure enough, got a kill.
So here's Jasmine Ellison, the Toronto, Canada freshman. Still set point Gators. Kissick cleanly receives it, and cross court for the win goes Kennedy Martin. Gators take a 1-0 lead.
And of course, who is Stuckey gonna find but Kennedy Martin to end this set for the Florida Gators, taking control at the end of that set.
Well, it was close until the service run that Alexis Stuckey had. Oklahoma at one point had a 19-17 lead, 5 straight points to take control for the Gators, and they polish it off 25-21, Kelly.
Yeah, just a phenomenal job, right? Settling in from the service line, Chad, like you mentioned, and Alexis Stuckey, credit at the very end of that set.
The 15th ranked Gators in the SEC opener for both teams with a 1-set. I'm Chad McKee. Back and forth set. 4 service aces for the Gators. 2 of them came back to back off the hand of Alexis Stuckey when Florida went on a 5-point run late in that set that helped gain them control. And here's a look at the numbers. 17 kills and a hitting percentage of .414 for a team that leads the SEC in hitting percentage in Florida, and they looked like it in the first set.
And we're gonna go back to the opening, Chad. Who's delivering the ball? It's Alexis Stuckey, right? To put her hitters in a good spot. 17 kills, hit .414. It's gonna be hard to beat a team when you're getting to that 17 kill mark in a set.
You see, Oklahoma hit .292 in that opening set. They were solid. Kari Geisberger certainly made a difference for the Sooners, but it was A.C. Fitzpatrick who had 7 kills. And certainly you think about the Martins, Isabel and Kennedy. A.C. Fitzpatrick, the offensive difference maker for the Gators in set 1.
Absolutely. A.C. Fitzpatrick, 7 kills like you mentioned, but 0 errors, Chad, hitting .875 in that first set.
So the serve goes to the Sooners, and Whitney Wallace will line it up first. Freshman from Los Gatos, California, St. Francis High School. Her brother Joe plays volleyball at UCSB. Parents were both collegiate volleyball players, so it's in her blood. The opening serve taken in by Isabel Martin. Big swing by Roth to blast one home to start things for the Gators.
And Alexis Stuckey doing the same thing that Payne Chamberlain did on that first serve. Establishing that middle hitter attack with Roth. Opens up the hitters. The block has to keep that middle honest.
16th assist already for Stuckey. Shelton blocked this time. Roth is in the middle of it along with Kennedy Martin.
Yeah.
2-0 Gators.
And no doubt Kennedy Martin, that's her job right now, is to put up a huge block on Alexis Shelton. And sure enough, she did. First block for the Gators in the match right there, but Alexis Shelton, look for her to get going.
Isabel Martin serves, tight set for Chamberlain, able to get it to Geisberger, who dumps it down.
What about that set by Payne Chamberlain? That ball was almost going over the net. She stopped it, and then she flung it back. That back set was beautiful and found Geisberger. Let's look at this set again. See how she delivers that ball so quick to the pen. And Geisberger already knows that she's going to get it. She's up and ready.
What a dig there by McKissick. She just has to play it across. Geisberger cross court and pounds home another one to tie this set at 2.
And sure enough, Geisberger again getting the ball. Gators don't have an answer. Probably a size difference between Geisberger and Fitzpatrick on the outside for the Gators.
Maybe a little miscommunication there, Fitzpatrick on the service receive, but the Gators able to get it over. And big swing that time by Martin, and what a dig. Stuckey able to play it over. Cross court and in from Geisberger one more time.
And you can see the Sooners so far in this set, they're just trying to get all the balls over to Alexis Stuckey. Make her work. Make her earn it right now and on the defensive side. Look at this beautiful dig by Alexis Stuckey, getting that right arm straight up.
More than just a setter. Great set that time, blasted just wide cross court by Kennedy Martin, and it's 4-2 Oklahoma. What an angle that was, though, from Kennedy Martin, Kevin.
The angles from all of these players in the gym chat are so unreal. They're really forcing it.
4 straight points won by Oklahoma, 3 on the serve of Kimoa. Tipping it to the back is Fitzpatrick, but Whitney Wallace chased it down. And Geisberger, their net contact, I think they called AC Fitzpatrick for being in the net, and it's 5-2 Oklahoma.
Yeah. And what the Sooners need to do, they need to keep taking care of the ball. They need to put points on the board, keep it going, take care of the ball defensively. Starts with the block.
Kimoa targets Fitzpatrick this time. Stuckey set. Roth is blocked, and this time it is Lydia Martin for Oklahoma.
Yeah.
That is 6 straight points won by Oklahoma, 5 on Kimoa's serve.
And sure enough, Lydia Martin up and ready for Roth. That's what the Sooners need. Again, keep taking care of the ball.
And there's the error. Good run, though, for Kelly Kimoa. Jayla August enters the lineup for Florida as Ellie McKissick is back to serve it for the Gators. Target Shelton, playing all 6 rotations, and there's Martin with the middle wide open. 7-3 Sooners.
I love that play so much. First, Alexis Shelton, it was a good pass. It's good enough to run your middle, and then Peyton Chamberlain finding Lydia Martin. Let's look at it again. Martin up and ready.
Side out takes the serve back to Jasmine Ellison. Kissick digs it out. Gators can't get it across, and Ellison has an ace to make it 8-3 Sooners.
And what about this start for the Sooners? And hey, it's starting from the service line. They're really taking care of the ball for the most part, putting the pressure on the Gators serve receive.
So it was a 5-point service run by Callie Kimoa to give Oklahoma the lead. Ellison has extended it. The Sooners have won now 7 of the last 8 points and lead set number 2, 8-3.
Welcome to the one and only Oklahoma, where world-class scholars and scientists are connecting to protect the one world.
For the Gators. Jasmine Ellison back on the service line, and there's Fitzpatrick, just as she did in the opening set, making a big difference.
Really good side out for the Gators. That timeout coming out right away. And Fitzpatrick going for the swing.
Fitzpatrick likes to spend time at the family ranch. She's into saltwater fishing. Well, it is Florida. That one is just long from Kennedy Martin, and Oklahoma gets a quick side out. That's one thing Oklahoma has been able to do so far. They've continued their momentum by getting a side out right as Florida serves only one time.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're relying a lot on their block, right? Putting up a huge block, allowing the defense to work, and then being able to serve again. Great points.
Fitzpatrick drills one down. Another good set from Stuckey. And that was in system right there. Perfectly done by the Gators.
Yeah, and when you talk about in system, Chad, you're talking about a perfect pass. That means the setter has all the options. She can go to the outside middle, right side, back row. Out of system, what you'll hear sometimes we'll mention is when the ball's way off the net, we almost know where that ball's going to go. It becomes a little bit more predictable, and so we call that an out of system ball.
McKissick, so good back there for Florida in that libero role. And she was a basketball player when she was younger, but had an older sister who played volleyball at Georgia Tech, and she started peppering in the backyard with her older sister, and it has grown into this role with the Florida Gators as their libero.
That's all it takes. It happens to all of us. It's a good thing.
10-5 Oklahoma. Lydia Martin back to serve. There's McKissick again. Way up high to reach that one is August, and Oklahoma can't play it back. Jayla August, the freshman, she's come right in, as we said. I'm not sure they have measured her vertical leap, but they plan to. It may be hard to measure.
It's so high. They don't have the equipment for it.
And she didn't arrive until fall. As we said, she was a high jumper, got into volleyball in high school, and I think she made the right choice.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's look again at Jayla August. The apex, what do you guess that vertical is?
Oh, I mean, I couldn't even tell. I couldn't even guess. I mean, I don't even want to put a number on it because it's so high, and I don't want to get it wrong.
Service error there from Chamberlain.
And I don't even think that was a full jump.
No. Gators have stopped Oklahoma's serving momentum. Remember the run Stuckey had on her serve, 5 straight points in the opening set to help Florida gain control of that one. She's back there now. Chamberlain runs up. Not quite on the same page with Geisberger there. Stuckey, beautiful set. Isabel Martin gets blocked up there by KJ Burgess. Geisberger, just long.
Ball is in.
It was. Let's see if we have a Florida challenge here. So it was called in.
Yeah, no, I don't
challenge?
think so. Both coaches, Coach Booz and Coach Wise, they shook their head. It was in. Wow, what a swing. And driving it so deep, I think it hit the line.
Wallace cross court to Isabel Martin. And the other way, Kennedy Martin. Geisberger there for Oklahoma. Kimoa the set for Shelton. Off the block. Great job to save it there by Kanan. What a play by Kanan to keep it alive. What a play defensively it was.
And that is a perfect example of an out-of-system ball. We know that ball's going to the outside hitter. The outside hitter knows it's coming. She's getting off the net. The ball's up high. This is an out-of-system situation that we're talking about. Huge dig by Kanan to keep that ball going. And then you see McKissick putting that ball up high and Kennedy Martin putting the ball away.
Fifth kill for Kennedy Martin, and Alexis Shelton strikes right back for Oklahoma with just her 3rd kill. Think about it, Oklahoma is up now in this set by 5 points, and that's only 3 kills for Shelton.
Absolutely, and they're finding, that's what Peyton Chamberlain is doing a really good job in this second set, is she's getting other players going, right? It leaves an opening for Alexis Shelton, and then she throws her a beautiful set, and she's able to get a kill. Because, of course, the Florida Gators are queuing up on her. They're going to put up a double block on Alexis Shelton. They have to.
Kimoa served just long. Aaron Mansfield looking back there. Remember, he's already lost one challenge, so he's down to just 1. Maybe if he had 2, you might have him take a look at that one. There's Ellie McKissick to serve for the Gators. We got another look on the video board. What'd you think?
I didn't see it, but the crowd saw it for sure. And then you know, OU right now is saying the ball never lies. That's what happens right there.
Right back with the error, so back-to-back service errors. There's Jasmine Ellison back to serve it for Oklahoma. Sooners have been able to keep the Gators chomp at arm length here in this second set. Florida won the opening set 25-21. Off the tape. What a play there by Isabel Martin to come in and save it. Kennedy Martin plays it across. Shelton blocked, and right in the middle of it is August for the Gators.
What about that Gator block again? didn't have a block in that first set, Chad. So now putting up a couple blocks already in the second set. Huge block by Martin and Auguste.
Cross court, a great serve and the ace for Kennedy Martin. Back-to-back points, and here come the Gators.
Yeah, and targeting Ellison right away. Ellison dancing her troubles away.
This time Kimoa steps in front to take it. Shelton will get a swing. She's blocked. Right there to pick it off was Wallace. This time Shelton taps it around the block and down.
That's what the Sooners need to do up against this huge Florida block. Be able to do something with it, recycle it. Shelton goes all out, but Wallace, huge dig for the Sooners to give Shelton an opportunity to go again.
And so Shelton will serve it. Alexis Shelton now 4 kills. Kari Geisberger leads the way with 8 for Oklahoma. A.C. Fitzpatrick leads the way with 9 for Florida. Fitzpatrick off the block and out of bounds. What a night she's having. She's the first player in the double-figure kills now with 10.
And what she does so well is she sees the block right away. She knows what she needs to do. If there's a hole, an opening, she goes for it. If there's not, she's so crafty. She can use the hands or she'll set it over.
Emily Cannon will do the serving. 3rd season at Florida. Allen, Texas native. You would imagine she has a few friends and family who have made the drive up.
Absolutely.
Shelton tips that one across and somehow avoided the net. Isabel Martin swings off the Oklahoma block and a net violation.
That was a very aggressive set by Peyton Chamberlain to force the right side back row attack. But credit to Shelton and her athleticism to keep that ball alive. And like you said, staying out of the net.
Martin with the serve for Oklahoma. Good take there by McKissick. The dump attempt by Stuckey that time. The set comes for Camille Gibson of Oklahoma. Isabel Martin right into the block. McKissick saved it. Attempted dunk home by Gibson. In the back row, Kennedy Martin can't quite get it. It took a lot, but Oklahoma wins the points, and KJ Burgess gets credit.
Yeah, that's just some grit by the Sooners. All-out defense, keeping that ball alive, and then the hitters transitioning. Gibson and Burgess being up and ready.
Burgess transferred from Utah last season, led all Pac-12 freshmen in hitting percentage. Martin blocked, and there's Burgess. Back-to-back points for her.
And Peyton Chamberlain coming up with a block. I think that was all her.
18-12 Oklahoma. Sooners looking to even this up. Set apiece. Lydia Martin. Stuckey the set. Isabel Martin trying to go to the back row, but Shelton was there. Camille Gibson drops that one down for Oklahoma.
And Camille Gibson's been a little quiet, I would say, so far in this match, but what a dynamic athlete she is. And just a huge set by Peyton Chamberlain, and for her to put that away.
Largest lead of the set for Oklahoma, and a timeout Gators, as Oklahoma is close to evening this one at 1 set apiece. Oklahoma looking for its first set win of the night. What's been the difference maker for Oklahoma in pulling out to this substantial second set lead, Kelly?
Well, I think serving has been a huge deal, but really it comes to the defense. They have doubled their digs from the first set already, and I think they've really kind of had some more grit, right? Allowing those hustle plays, keeping the ball alive, putting a lot of pressure on the Florida Gators.
Both teams just serving it very well. Oklahoma, 2 aces, only 3 errors. And that's an area that Aaron Mansfield said he feels like his team has made huge improvement in the offseason, serving and the serve receive.
Absolutely, and I think they're winning the serving game so far in the match.
Another for Lydia Martin here. Kissick took it. Stuckey the good set. Leaping wide as Auguste and Shelton digs for Oklahoma. Camille Gibson into the block.
And And there are the Gators putting up a huge block on Gibson, and Gibson's going for it.
Stuckey, Gust in on that block for the Gators. Chamberlain sets. What a dig that is by Kanaan. Isabel Martin cross court and wide as it skimmed and kind of tight roped down the tape and then went wide.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a beautiful dig by Kanaan. Unfortunately, the Gators couldn't keep it going, but credit to the Sooner defense.
20-13, Oklahoma in control of set 2 as Chamberlain serves. Setting to the back, and Kennedy Martin. Kimoa the set this time for Gibson, off the block and out of bounds.
And Gibson just recognizing that double block and going high off hands. Easy as that.
Gibson came in January, transferred from Tennessee, and she's been battling an ab strain. Aaron Mansfield said she really just needs health.
Yeah, and an ab strain is tough for a hitter, as you can imagine. Every single time you go up.
Isabel Martin taps that one wide, and Oklahoma has really dominated this set. They're 3 points away from closing it out. So Lauren Harder will enter the lineup for the first time tonight. She's only played 5 matches. This will be her 9th set for Florida. Freshman from Fishers, Indiana. And there she is, targeted immediately, but she'll get a swing out of it and kind of mishit that, and it worked out.
Yeah, absolutely. And what an amazing job by getting that first pass. And she just kind of eased into it. She held her platform over there, great angle.
Just a great way to break. I mean, you get targeted, you come clean, you get a kill. She's like, let's do this.
Well, and I love that Alexis Stuckey just went to her right away.
Stuckey the serve, and Shelton cleanly handled that one. The swing was a little bit short there by Geisberger.
And you know what that does by Alexis Stuckey, which is so smart? It gets her involved right away, right? It gets her going, recognizes that Stuckey's got confidence in her hitter coming off the bench.
Stuckey the serve, targets Shelton again. Peyton Chamberlain the set, and a big block put up this time by Roth. Geisberger off the tip. This time Stuckey will get the set, and that was the freshman Harder just playing it over. To the back, and Kanaan got there, but it'll be another kill for Gibson.
And Geisberger went down, so the coaching staff is making sure that she's okay. She's saying she's okay.
How about Gibson now? 4 kills, popping into the lineup for the Sooners, who are 2 points away from tying it at 1 set each. Wallace the serve, and an error. Fitzpatrick is back in, and we see Emerson Hoyle for the first time. She'll go back and serve for the Gators.
For Florida right now, it's all about building momentum. OU has her right now. Just a missed serve by Wallace. Can you steal it and start thinking about building the momentum, building points, so you can go into the next set?
Burgess swings wide that time. So another serve here for Emerson Hoyle out of Arden, North Carolina, junior. Tight set. Chamberlain got a piece of it, but she was in the net.
Yeah.
And the Gators with 3 straight points.
And that's an illegal back row attack. Peyton Chamberlain, she's on the back row. So that ball was totally playable, almost going over the net. She tries to set it and save it. And so the ref called her for illegal back row attack.
Timeout Oklahoma now, as Florida's been able to string together 3 straight points. Sooners once led 22-13. So 5 out of the last 6 points, in fact, won by the Gators. Florida coming back, and just look at the strength of this league. Texas, 2-time reigning champs. You got Florida, number 15 in the country. Kentucky, 1-1. 4 more matches tomorrow night, including Texas at Texas A&M. The rivalry is back in the SEC.
That's right.
See Stuckey adjusting that knee brace.
And Geisberger adjusting her ankle brace. She just put one on.
So here's Emerson Hoyle, who has won 2 straight points on her serve, 3 straight points overall for the Gators to tighten it up. And the error. So, as often is the case, icing the server does work at times, Kelly.
Yeah, absolutely. This is huge for the Sooners. They want to get out of here right now with this set and go on to the 3rd set.
First of potentially 5 set points if Oklahoma would need them. Callie Kimoa back there. Kissick comes up clean. Fitzpatrick up high to drop it down. And Florida gets the side out at 24-19.
Yeah, the Sooners right away, they knew it was down. But sure enough, Fitzpatrick finding a way to put the ball in the court.
11 kills now for the 5th-year player from Ocala, Florida. McKissick to serve. Set point, Oklahoma still. Chamberlain, tight set. Geisberger dug out by McKissick. Stuckey the set. Fitzpatrick cross court, but there for Oklahoma was Wallace. Geisberger finishes it, and the Sooners have evened it at 1 set apiece.
Peyton Chamberlain finding Geisberger to finish it. Sooners all momentum in that 2nd set, no doubt about it.
So the intermission in between sets 2 and 3 at McCaslin Fieldhouse, finding things even at 1 set apiece. Gators won the opening set 25-21. Sooners bounce back and claim set number 2 25-19. SEC opener is a good one in Norman. It's also the home opener for the Sooners. Can they win their first ever SEC match? They're all tied up. Great environment for the SEC opener for both of these teams inside McCaslin Fieldhouse in Norman. With Kelly Files, I'm Chad McKee. It is 1 set apiece. Florida won the opening set 25-21, and Oklahoma ran away with set number 2, winning it 25-19. Couple of the storylines so far. AC Fitzpatrick certainly for Florida. We're going to talk a lot, as we did, about Isabel Martin, Kennedy Martin, and Alexa Stuckey. But AC Fitzpatrick has been a real difference maker for the Gators.
Yeah, and straight away in that 1st set, those 2 kills she got right in a row, she just set him over the net, recognizing that triple block. That's what it was. Heads up play by her. But she's so crafty. She utilizes there's another one on that triple block. She recognizes the triple block and finds the opening, but then she finds the hole. She goes high off hands. No doubt about it. She is a weapon for the Gators.
She's hitting tonight .667. It would be the 6th time this year that she has hit 300 or better. And they've just been able to continue to feed her. Of course, you know that Alexa Stuckey is going to go to the right place at the right time.
Absolutely. And not to mention 11 kills, 1 error, Chad, and in 2 sets. That's pretty phenomenal.
Here's a look at the numbers. Kills are just about even as Oklahoma really improved in set number 2.
Yeah, set number 2, the Sooners had 15 kills, hit 323. That was a huge difference compared to the Gators' 8 kills, hitting 077 in the 2nd set. So Sooners, credit to the offense, credit to Peyton Chamberlain, delivering that ball, distribution, getting other people involved other than Alexa Shelton.
Peyton Chamberlain, a player that Aaron Mansfield says is likely the most special setter he's ever had. Back for another year. She battles really pretty chronic knee pain. She wears the knee brace on the right knee. There's nothing structurally wrong. It's just kind of a management issue for her. And Oklahoma starts with an opening point.
But in that play right there, Chad, you just see her movement. She's going all out. She's diving. She's getting on the floor. She's setting from the floor at times.
She also had a concussion earlier this year against Tulsa. Must have been missed about a week.
Yeah, and it's good to see her back on the court, for sure.
Big rip right in the middle from Alec Roth, and a perfect set by Alexa Stuckey. Side out at 1 apiece.
Yeah, and Roth honestly having a good night. It's her 4th kill.
Started every match this year. Versatile player.
Look for Stuckey to get the middles more involved in this set.
Big swing from Fitzpatrick. Tight set here in the joust. Kennedy Martin punched it down, and the Gators take a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, Kennedy Martin, heads up play by her. That is a huge overpass set coming over the net.
So tough when you're on offense and you don't know the ball is coming right over your head.
Yeah, that's part of the blocking sequence. You've got to recognize where that ball's going, communicate to at a high level.
So a big serve and then the error by Fitzpatrick, and side out for Oklahoma at 2 apiece.
That serve by AC Fitzpatrick. She puts a lot of heat behind the ball.
Different types of serve.
So that's a jump serve, top spin jump serve. So the ball is spinning. And then you're going to see where Ellison right here will probably be a little bit more of a float serve that I mentioned earlier in that first set, where the ball, you hit it on the side really hard, and you let the ball kind of work. And it floats in the air.
McKissick takes it in. Kennedy Martin cross court, and there for Oklahoma is Ellison. Right back down to Alec Roth, who's starting to make a difference, the freshman middle blocker from Dublin, Ohio.
Yeah, Alec Roth, huge kill for the Gators, and then following up with a huge block on Lydia Martin.
They played her a little bit at outside hitter as Kennedy Martin was coming back from injury. Gabrielle Essex has battled injury as well, so Roth just showing her versatility this year. A couple of kills to start this third set. Chamberlain tried to dump it down. McKissick was there. And it's a gust with another for the Gators.
Yeah, and I like that. Again, I like the Stuckies getting those middles involved. You see she went with Roth, and now she's going to a gust. Establishing that middle is going to be super important to help out both of the Martins that are on the front row right now.
Chamberlain sets Shelton. What a dig by Kanan, who's had several back there. Shelton again. Gators get a touch up there. Chamberlain right back. And finally through the block, Lydia Martin gets an Oklahoma kill.
You just keep feeding her. You just keep feeding her. You're going to find a way. It's recycling the ball, right? Getting the ball back. What can I do again? See if the blocking assignments change a little bit. And you can see Peyton Chamberlain, when she's setting, she's also looking at the middle blocker. She's seeing where that middle blocker is going. That's what makes a good setter. Phenomenal.
Isabel Martin crashes one home for the Gators.
Yeah, Kimaha just getting caught off her line a little bit on the inside. You see right here, Isabel Martin sees a huge hole. And then Kimaha just a little shifted to her right.
Her fourth kill of the night for Isabel Martin, but she's hitting at a negative attack percentage tonight. Oklahoma quickly with the answer. 5-4 Gators. Lydia Martin to serve. Kennedy Martin hits that one well.
Yeah, and that's an out-of-system ball right there. That's an out-of-system opportunity for the Gators.
Lydia Martin had that, as you said, valuable experience with the U.S. Collegiate National Team out in Anaheim training. Went to tryouts in Colorado Springs for that. Said she was a little bit nervous, as you might imagine. But just to be on that stage, confirmation for her, I think.
Absolutely.
There's Alexa Shelton. Hasn't had a big night just yet.
Yeah, and this is on the right side of the court. On the blue, we call it the blue. And she just rips it.
Martin targets Kanan with this serve. Isabel Martin blocked, and then she punched it out of bounds. Peyton Chamberlain there, the Sooner setter, along with KJ Burgess.
Yeah, and Isabel Martin just struggling in this match so far to find an opening, to find a way.
Kanan digs it out. He'll set Isabel Martin again. Cross court and down this time. 5th kill for Isabel Martin tonight.
And what about Alexis Stuckey going back to Isabel Martin after that error, letting her hitter know, hey, I'm coming for you. That just builds confidence. That empowers her hitters.
514 kills she had at UNLV last year. She went through spring with the Gators, so it's given her an advantage on some who would have just come in for the fall. 7 apiece now, and we're all tied at 1 set each.
And the Gators on that block, they were a little early, but credit to Stuckey and August keeping their hands high on the way down.
So Isabel Martin, the redshirt senior from Germany, trying to give Florida the lead for the first time in this set. Camille Gibson.
She made that look so easy, just putting that ball into the back right corner, down the line, and she just placed it. It was a great shot.
So here's Peyton Chamberlain to serve. Firing away Fitzpatrick.
Not to mention Fitzpatrick going up against Geisberger, who puts up a huge block. She says, I don't care, I'm going for you.
That's 5'11" in Fitzpatrick, and Geisberger is 6'7". Not much fear.
Fitzpatrick just plays big.
So here's the serve for Emerson Hoyle. We saw her come in, and that skimmed the tape, went off Kimoa and out of bounds for the ace. 9-8 Florida. First lead for the Gators in set number 3.
And for the Gators, they've got to take care of the ball right now. They need to score points. They want to go on a point run here. It's going to start at the net with the block. Chamberlain
fires that set beautifully back for Camille Gibson. But what a set that was behind the back, essentially.
Absolutely.
By Chamberlain.
Yeah, she's so skilled in her position, so crafty, been doing it for so long. Take another look at it. And then Gibson, she had all the options. She could have hit. She decided to tip, caught him off guard.
Whitney Wallace puts it into the air. Fitzpatrick blocked there by Geisberger. Tip to the back by Stuckey. Geisberger blocked. And Geisberger right back. Almost disoriented, and then went back up and located it.
Yeah, just covering the block. Great job by the Sooners, keeping that ball alive. Let's look at it again. Geisberger, and then Fitzpatrick puts up a huge block. Credit to Wallace.
Wallace, service error. 10 apiece here in the 3rd set. Serving tonight, Florida 6 aces, 11 errors. Oklahoma 2 aces, 7 errors. Alexis Stuckey. Kimoa. The back set this time goes off the block. So Fitzpatrick able to just get a piece of it, and Geisberger gets credit for the kill.
Yeah, and that was a quick set. And Fitzpatrick was up. She was up and ready. And credit to Geisberger recognizing the block, just going off hands. Super easy.
Another for Kimoa. Kissick digs it out. And Kennedy Martin just hits that one long. So 12-10 Oklahoma. We saw Kimoa get on a good spurt in the 2nd set back on the service line. She's back there again.
Kennedy Martin just forcing that ball.
Huge block by Martin that time. Geisberger and Kennedy Martin battling up there on the joust. Kennedy Martin. And that's wide, no touch. Just kind of mishit that a bit.
Yeah, mishit it, and huge communication for the Sooners. Kimoa on her line, recognizing that ball is going out of bounds.
3 straight points for Oklahoma. A 3-point lead. Beautiful pancake by Kimoa. Nope, they call it down. They called it down. We'll see if we have a challenge.
Yeah, and the down ref right away. The second referee right up and said it was down, for sure. And that's a tough one to use your challenge on when you only have one right now. I think that's a smart decision.
So 13-11. Mary Wise and the Gators get the side out. And Kanan will serve. We don't have a good view of that attempted pancake there by Callie Kimoa. Target Shelton, who handles it cleanly. Geisberger rips one right down.
What about Alexis Shelton passing that ball? She put that ball right on the money. Let's look at this pass again. She keeps that platform together. Peyton Chamberlain then can find Geisberger. That all started with the pass.
So here's Jasmine Ellison to serve for Oklahoma. Kanan handles it. Stuckey the set. Isabel Martin drops that one home. And we had a lift called. Did you see the lift, Kelly?
This has been a big point of emphasis this year, is throwing the ball, if you will. It's illegal. Got to hit it. You got to tip it. You can't hold on to that ball for a long period of time, which that's what the referee called.
Media timeout midway through set number 3. Oklahoma leads 15-11. We are tied at 1 set apiece.
Hey, so that is technically a lift. If you think about it, anything that's elongated the time on your person is technically a lift. And so that's definitely what they called. You can see it's kind of, she's not going to hit. You can see her hand. She's not going to tip. She's holding it for a long period of time. If she tipped it, it would come out of her hand right away.
15-11 Oklahoma. That was definitely not a throw on that blast by Kennedy Martin. What a rip that was.
No, and I like the Gators. They were making sure to communicate at a high level that that ball's going out of bounds. Kennedy Martin was turned around, looking at it, screaming, "Don't touch it!"
What a blast that was by Martin, her 8th kill of the night. 15-12, Sooners on top. And back to serve is Ellie McKissick, 5th-year libero. Chamberlain set for Shelton, who drops it right into the ideal spot. So Alexis Shelton wasn't having a great night, but she's showing the versatility of her swinging game.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not necessarily all about power. You can actually, that was a tip right there that she did. But that's what makes a good outside hitter. You have to be able to change what you're doing. Got to have all of the different tools.
Isabel Martin tipping it across, and there's Shelton. What a rip that is, and Camille Gibson is having a great 3rd set for Oklahoma.
Yeah, she is. She's come on fire. The Sooners needed it. That started in the 2nd set. Great up by Alexis Shelton. And then Gibson sees the hole, and she just rips it.
Oklahoma has won 4 of the last 5 points. They have started to pull away here, and now Mary Weiss looking for some answers. Oklahoma's last top 25 win at home was in 2014. It was in September, and their most recent overall top 25 win was also 2014. That was at Texas.
I think I was here.
Yes.
I think I was on the coaching staff.
10 years ago. And that's what Aaron Mansfield and his staff, does it seem like that long ago?
Wow. It's here for the taking. We can see it, Chad, for the Sooners. Is Florida right now, Chad, is Florida going into a 6-2? Alexis Stuckey is on the bench. Taylor Parks is in on the back row, setting right now. That's what my gut is telling me, that Florida has switched to a 6-2. So we'll see. When Kennedy Martin rotates to the back row, does Alexis Stuckey come in for her?
Well, this veteran staff, Associate Head Coach Dave Booz, Nisha Ambler, Caroline Cano on the staff with Mary Wise. Not much that they have not seen or done in this sport. But Oklahoma has gotten the better of things since early on in set number 2. They pulled away and won that one 25-19. 17-12 advantage for the Sooners here in set 3, and Alexis Shelton back to the service line. Targeting Kanan. Kennedy Martin blocked by the opposite Martin, Lydia, for Oklahoma.
Yeah, Lydia Martin up and ready. Again, hang time. She keeps her hands high as she's coming down. Recognizing Kennedy Martin's going to tip the ball.
Parks the set this time, and Isabel Martin gets the kill.
And Taylor Parks in the setting job right now for the Gators. Okay, Taylor Parks is on the front row.
So Parks is just in at setter, replacing Alexis Stuckey. Parks was excellent, averaged 10 assists per set when Stuckey was out until just 2 matches ago. Isabel Martin, another one, and she has really come around for the Gators in this set.
Back-to-back kills by Isabel Martin. Taylor Parks feeding her right now.
Gators starting to stabilize things as Kennedy Martin serves. Tough set that time. Right into the middle, and Parks is there along with August. And Oklahoma will take a timeout. 3 straight points won by the Gators since they called their last timeout. And Aaron Mansfield and the Sooners will take a TO with a 3-point lead.
Yeah, credit to the serve and the defense by the Gators, putting the pressure on the Sooners. I think it's a good timeout by Aaron Mansfield. Stop this run. You're up by 3 points. You want to keep the momentum. You want to side out right now, get the ball back.
What a tough league it is. Just look at this out of the gate. Oklahoma, 3 straight top 20 teams to open SEC play. Tennessee on Sunday. And then Oklahoma stating its case to get some of those rankings points as well. SEC ready? I think so.
Absolutely.
So Oklahoma taking the timeout. Kennedy Martin back on the service line. 3 straight points won by the Gators after Oklahoma led 18-12. Great serve by Kennedy Martin. Peyton Chamberlain headed to the front row, but it's an ace, and the Gators are back on track.
What a beautiful serve by Kennedy Martin. She dialed that ball in perfectly. Great hustle by Chamberlain.
Kimar handles it cleanly. Shelton gets a big rip, and man, that went right off the head of McKissick.
Wow. What a swing by Alexis Shelton.
You know, her numbers are eye-popping and the plays she makes, but I'm telling you, the improvement in all the other elements are what really stand out to me.
Well, absolutely, and that's why she's on the court, so then she can be an offensive weapon on the back row. That just helps the front row players at the time. She's playing, yeah, it's so huge for the Sooners that she can play all 6 rotations.
First appearance for Ireland McNeese, who did the serving there, and that swing is long from Kennedy Martin. Sooners back-to-back points. So here's Ireland McNeese, Riverton, Utah native, sophomore. Started a few matches for the Sooners a season ago as a freshman. Targets Kanan. Parks again in there at setter. Kennedy Martin got the swing. There's Shelton. What a dig by Kanan, who's had a bunch of them. And cross-court and down off the hand of Isabel Martin.
Isabel Martin, 3 kills in the past, few points. Really starting to find her rhythm.
And now she will go back and serve. And with Kennedy Martin out to start the year, or I should say through that stretch after the ankle injury. Isabel Martin shouldered a lot of the load and was up to the task, made a big impact on this team. That one tipped across. Parks got a hand on it for the Gators. Here's Fitzpatrick and a block. In the middle of it for the Sooners is Burgess. Camille Gibson there as well.
Yeah, triple block for the Sooners. And Fitzpatrick, she was going for it. She wasn't going to do anything crafty this time. She ripped the ball. And the Sooner block said no, went straight down.
And that triple block is a big part of things for Erin Mansfield. It's different. You just don't see it. Is that why it's so hard to deal with?
It is, and you can see that they're not using it all the time. So that's what makes it hard for hitters as well.
Camille Gibson rifles through the block and down. And a timeout taken by the Gators.
The Sooners are on a roll. That momentum, it's everything in volleyball, and you just want to keep running with it. Everything coming up. Gold for the Sooners.
They've won 4 of the last 5 points. A 5-point advantage, trying to go up 2 sets to 1 on the number 15 team in the country.
Let's take a look at that last play. And just credit to Gibson recognizing that hole in the block. And she just rips it. That was an opportunity for her to go for the power shot and just drill the ball.
Big smile there for Gibson, as we said, transferred in from Tennessee, where she didn't play as a freshman last year. Arrived at Oklahoma in January, so she was able to go through spring with Erin Mansfield and his staff and kind of get herself acclimated, but has battled that ab strain that, as you talked about, I can't imagine how tough that would be to deal with in the sport of volleyball.
It's really hard, and they've actually limited her. They've been counting her swings in practice, trying to get her back and healthy, because at any moment, even a hit like that, you know, it's scary, because that, if you don't get over that quickly, or you know, you don't take the time to heal, that can be following you all season long.
How about Mary Wise and the Gators here? They've tried a couple of different things. They've made the switch at setter here in this set, but just trying to stabilize things. They've not had a good deal of answers for Oklahoma's offensive attack the last 2 sets.
That too, and then also on the flip side, there's offensively, they are struggling as well. So right now the Gators are hitting 143. They have 12 kills in this set, but they're hitting 143 in this set. Compared to the Sooners, they have 12 kills as well, but the difference, 435. So just a little bit more efficient, taking care of the ball.
Florida hit 414 in the first set in winning, then 077 in set 2 and 143 here in the third.
And credit to the Sooner defense too.
Just wide off the hand of Auguste.
Yeah, and Auguste just forced that ball. She saw a huge opportunity and just dropped her hand a little bit, dropped her thumb.
Chamberlain, nothing fancy, just getting it in there. Dump attempt, and Chamberlain was there for Oklahoma. And that is down on the Florida side. The block by Auguste.
And again, that's an out-of-system ball. Credit to Peyton Chamberlain, recognizing the setter dump, getting the dig, and then Camille Gibson to put that ball away. And Kima, beautiful set by her.
That's 10 kills for Camille Gibson. Set point Oklahoma. Chamberlain. Kissick receives it. It's Bella Lee now on the court for the Gators. And there's Fitzpatrick with the answer, just what the Gators had to have.
Absolutely. Right now, if you're Florida, you're looking for momentum. You're looking for anything positive. You've got to keep working. You've got to keep finding a way to score, finding a way to build that momentum or start taking that momentum away from the Sooners.
Still set point for Oklahoma. And the serve for Hoyle. Gibson able to take it in. Geisberger thumps it home, and Oklahoma leads 2 sets to 1.
Sooners have put together 2 great sets. Can they keep it going to find a third? Can Florida right now can regroup and take a deep breath?
Sooners looking for their first win over a top 25 team since 2014 and trying to open their SEC tenure with a victory at home inside McCaslin Fieldhouse. It's 2-1. Oklahoma on top of 15th ranked Florida in the SEC opener for both. Do the Sooners have the staying power to finish, or will the Gators bite back in set number 4 next on SEC Network Plus?
Doctor, what I'm hallucinating. What do you think, fever monster?
What about Sock Doc?
Sock Doc?
Dr. Castell has a great bedside manner.
So many options.
But Dr. She-Chan will take your sketchy insurance. She-Chan, 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 She-Chan.
Thanks, bro.
You've got more options than you know. Book now.
Jersey Mike's freshly slices it right in front of you. The authentic Jersey way. You can't fake that. And look, you can fake a lot of stuff these days. You can fake my outfit, but you can't fake freshly sliced turkey. You can fake these haunches, but you can't fake freshly sizzled bacon. Nay, you just can't fake a freshly sliced Jersey sub. It's nice to be back in my real body. Number 13, please. Made the authentic Jersey way since 1956. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
2-1. Oklahoma on top after 15th ranked Florida won the opening set 25-21. The Sooners have roared back and pretty comfortably won each of the last 2 sets. Back with you at McCaslin Fieldhouse in Norman, the SEC opener for both these teams. First ever SEC conference match for Aaron Mansfield's Sooner volleyball program, and they have been ready for their arrival. Kelly, we come in, and rightly so, we talk about Florida's ability to hit. They were the top hitting team in the SEC, and Oklahoma the second top blocking team in the SEC, but it's been Oklahoma's offense. Look at that hitting percentage, 362.
They're slowly just creeping back up in sets 2 and then sets 3, being a lot more efficient. And we talked about the open is Alexis Shelton, right? Watching Alexis Shelton. It's not Alexis Shelton that we're talking about right now. So the Sooners showing what other offensive weapons they have. And Geisberger, Gibson's really coming on strong in sets 2 and 3.
What's at stake? Florida has not lost an SEC opener since 1990. 35 years. Oklahoma's last top 25 win came in October of 2014. And their last top 25 win in Norman came 1 month prior to that one. But this team, coached by Mary Wise, they've been through just about everything you can in collegiate volleyball. We are set for set number 4. Oklahoma trying to close it out, and it begins with a serving error from Whitney Wallace.
And for the Gators, they'll take it. Anything they can take to put a point on the board right now to find some rhythm. We see Alexis Stuckey back out there for the Gators.
Individually, AC Fitzpatrick. Kari Geisberger for Oklahoma has 13, and Camille Gibson with 10. She had a great second set. Great set, and a kill for KJ Burgess.
KJ Burgess up and ready. Same thing happened.
Kennedy Martin back to serve for the Gators with a 2-1 lead, and the service error makes it 2 apiece. That is the 12th service error for Florida tonight. Just kind of a rarity. Remember, the top service ace team in the SEC, they have 90 on the year, with 7 of them tonight.
And Kennedy Martin struggling so far in this match. The Gators really need her offensively. She's playing 6 rotations as well. See her start producing some points in this set.
That one dropped short and a side out. 3-2 Oklahoma.
Yeah, no, of course, like I mentioned, Alexis Stuckey, she's got to get Kennedy Martin going. The Gators need her. Sure enough, she went for it. And just a little too short with that tip.
Ellison back on the service line for the Sooners. Kanan receives it. The dump there by Stuckey.
And credit to Kanan for that beautiful pass, putting that high enough for let Alexis Stuckey do her thing at the net.
Kanan is a real difference maker in the points that she plays for Florida. So back to serve it goes Isabel Martin. There's Lydia Martin with the swing. What a dig by McKissick. Fitzpatrick is blocked. The Oklahoma triple block there. Fitzpatrick goes around and down. Stick-to-itiveness for AC Fitzpatrick.
That dig by McKissick, that's momentum changing, right? Playing defense, all-out defense, getting balls off the ground, laying out, putting your body on the line, and then AC Fitzpatrick being so crafty, driving that ball down the line.
Big rip from the back from Kennedy Martin, and 5-3 Gators.
Much needed kill for Kennedy Martin, much needed kill by the Gators. Trying to find her rhythm right now.
9 kills on the night. She's hitting .043. But that helps. And Isabel Martin the serve. A little overpass there off the hand of Ellison. What a play by Shelton to chase it down, and Chamberlain gets it across. Stuckey. Fitzpatrick rips it cross court, but wide.
And the Sooners will take that. They just gave the number 15 team in the country a free ball and came up with a hitting error. So
here's Alexis Shelton to serve. 8 kills for her tonight, 5 digs, hitting .185. Leading the SEC in points per set, and serves that one wide.
Isabel Martin right on that line. Had a good look at it.
Emerson Hoyle has come in to serve throughout the match tonight. She's back there now. Gators lead 6-4. Set number 4 in Norman. Lydia Martin blocked. Fitzpatrick was there and taken wide that time, as Roth had a lot of real estate out there and just kind of overcooked it.
Yeah, the Sooners got lucky again. Martin was just kind of lost track of the ball, and then Roth just putting it just out of bounds.
Lydia Martin serves for Oklahoma. Isabel Martin the target. Burgess trying to dunk it down. Shelton got a piece of that one.
But what about Alexis Stuckey? 2 kills so far to get 2 points for the Gators on being offensive as a setter.
Back to service, Stuckey. Had a difference-making service run in the first set for Florida. 7-5 Gators on top in the 4th. Gibson got blocked. Wide it goes. Gibson fearlessly swinging into that double block.
And she's just doing her job. She's just going for it, being aggressive.
11 kills for Camille Gibson tonight. And Peyton Chamberlain to do the serving. The error. That is the 10th error for Oklahoma on the service line to go against 2 aces. Here is AC Fitzpatrick to serve for the Gators. Chamberlain chased that down to get the set. Tip to the back. Kimoa is there. Gibson tips into the block. Kennedy Martin plays it up. Isabel Martin. Sooners got a touch, and down it goes. Isabel Martin gets credit for the kill.
Just a lot of hands going up, trying to keep that ball alive, and Gators coming up huge with that play.
Timeout Oklahoma. Gators trying to even it at 2 sets apiece, getting a big lift from Isabel Martin with her 10th kill of the night. lot of chances with the service errors. That's 13, which is a little uncharacteristic of Florida. Whitney Wallace back there for the Sooners to serve it. Stuckey long set. Isabel Martin just blasting away for the Gators now. Her 11th kill of the night.
Yeah, Isabel Martin. Maybe not the flashiest out there, but she's doing her job. She's coming up huge with some kills.
So Ellie McKissick is back to serve. Gators 3-point lead, trying to even this match at 2 sets apiece. Overpassed out of bounds and a great serve. McKissick gets credit for the ace. That'll be the 8th ace tonight for Florida.
See that little dribbling?
Yeah, and then she spins the ball. Now, we told you she's a basketball player. That was kind of her early first love. And she does view herself as the point guard on the volleyball court. There's a big rip cross court, and Geisberger gets the side out for the Sooners.
And the Gators don't have an answer for Geisberger, honestly. She's been so successful from the right side of the court, hitting on the right side of the net.
Leading the charge for the Sooners tonight, Geisberger with her 14th kill. Gibson has 11, Shelton 8. Fitzpatrick leads in the kills category for the Gators, and Isabel Martin has 12. Fitzpatrick 15. Kalikimoa to serve for Oklahoma. Targets Isabel Martin, and Kennedy Martin hits into the Oklahoma block. Back out of bounds it goes off the Sooner block. There's Kennedy Martin starting to come to life. Gators need her, as you said.
Absolutely, not just put her into double-digit kills with 10. Much needed for the Gators.
Only her 5th match this year. Remember, had a 25-kill match against Colorado State, but that serve is long. Rotating in to serve for Oklahoma comes Ellison. Geisberger rotates out. And the error makes it 13-9 Gators. Is it a lonely feeling back there on the service line sometimes, Kelly? Stand back there, players are rotating, and you're waiting?
It is mentally tough. It is a tough job back there. All eyes on you, right? You're starting the actual start of the play.
Shelton blocked by August and Stuckey. Double contact came back to the Oklahoma side. And now Florida with a 5-point lead.
Let's take a look at it again. This block by the Gators. And look at Alexis Shelton. Alexis Stuckey.
But you have Alexis Shelton there too.
And diving in on Alexis Shelton.
The overpass, Stuckey tried to take it home, but Chamberlain was there. Alexis Shelton off the block, and wide it goes.
There she goes. She finds it, right? She finds a way to score. Stuckey off the net a little bit. Shelton able to go high off hands and drive it out of bounds.
And so Shelton back to serve for the Sooners. 14-10 Florida. Targeting McKissick. Stuckey the set and the rip right down the seam from Kennedy Martin.
And that all started with McKissick with that pass. Perfect, right on the money, in system. That's what we call an in-system pass. Allows Stuckey to run whatever she wants, right? And targeting Kennedy Martin in the back row.
I think I would run that a lot too.
Yeah.
Serve long from Hoyle. Again, the Gators, I don't know how many times it's happened, but it's been after getting a side out, they give it right back to Oklahoma with the serving error.
Yeah, they're giving Oklahoma so many points from the service line in this set alone. Just can't get into that service rhythm.
Ireland McNeese into serve. Reaching back to take that one home is Fitzpatrick. She was up close to the net, and the set was a little long.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Yeah, no problem. And you can see that that was on the edge of a tip, lift, possibly a throw.
We saw one called earlier.
Yes.
Kimoa, and there's the dump back the other way from Chamberlain. Stuckey is there. Block in the middle. Fitzpatrick in the middle of that for the Gators. Gibson goes off the block, and Fitzpatrick can't quite get there. So Camille Gibson with her 12th kill.
Really like the hustle by the Gators, though. They're just not, they're fighting. Nothing's really going their way right now, but they keep fighting. They're still in the lead in this set, but they're just really having to work for it. They haven't found their rhythm yet, I don't think, in this set, even though they're up by 4 points.
Peyton Chamberlain will serve for the Sooners. Chamberlain having just the kind of night that she typically has. 34 assists for her, 5 digs, 3 blocks as well. Stuckey, beautiful set. Fitzpatrick takes it down the line, but it's wide.
And she wants a redo at that for sure. That was a beautiful ball by Stuckey. She saw the line. Sooners gave her line, and she really went line.
That's only the 4th hitting error tonight for Fitzpatrick. Stuckey set that one. Ooh, a quick tip across from Roth. Chamberlain was there, and that one tipped down. Kennedy Martin, too good, found the open space.
Yeah, and I like that set was a little, by Roth, was a little to her left shoulder, so she had to come over, and it was low, so credit to Roth for saving that ball, tipping it with her left hand.
Emily Canaan will serve. And the error. What an unusual night for her back there as well. Remember, she had the 13-point service run against Buffalo. And I wondered, was that a Florida record? It really wasn't even close. 18 straight points. Thayer Hall had an 18 straight service point run for the Gators. Whitney Wallace for Oklahoma now. 17-14 Florida. Oklahoma still just kind of hanging around in the set. And that one is in. Roth blasts away from the middle.
That hit by Roth was perfection. The set was low. She saved that ball. She knew that she couldn't fully crank it or it was going to go in the net, so she saved that ball. Great decision by her. And she's a freshman as well.
So McKissick will serve. 18-14 Gators trying to even this match at 2 sets apiece. And McKissick with the ace as that ricochets off Whitney Wallace.
They will definitely take that to the service line.
Between the legs, spin on the finger.
This is part of her service routine, guys.
And it works. Another ace. And Oklahoma takes a timeout.
The service routine is so important for your serve. It mentally prepares you, gets you ready, so you're in the right mind frame. So you will see servers, they do the same thing over and over again. When I'm coaching, that's a huge emphasis at a young level. You need to start finding your service routine. And you see McKissick, I love it. She's bringing a little basketball flair into the mix.
She has 2 aces tonight, 19 on the season. This staff's so good for the Gators. Dave Boos and Mary Weiss, Shea Ambler on the staff as well. So what have they adjusted to here? You said they're not functioning at their optimum level and still comfortably winning this set.
Yeah, and I think that I would credit the staff. You can see that they're just encouraging them. Hey, let's go. Keep going. Keep fighting. It's gonna come. It's gonna come. You got to keep believing. You can just kind of see that that's what's happening over there from the coaching staff and the support staff and all that are involved. I think that's been a huge difference. They keep believing. Also, you can see how the team comes together. They're smiling at each other. They're keeping their spirits up. They know that they're fighting. They know that they're struggling. So credit to them. I mean, they're 6 points up, and I don't think we've seen the best of Florida yet.
If it goes to a 5th set, of course, that's just to 15 points. You begin to think about a team and a program that's been through things like this on the national stage numerous times, and maybe they have an advantage if they can get it to a 5th set, but Oklahoma's at home.
Oklahoma's at home, and you want to defend home, and you know, I think the Sooners have been playing really well. Right now, they're a little off, but so is Florida. Can they capitalize? They need to do it now.
See, the Gators really right at what their season average would be aces-wise, about 2.5%. Isabel Martin reaches back to swing for that one. Geisberger, cross court, and a big answer for Oklahoma.
And Martin and August, they just don't have an answer from the blocking line to slow Geisberger down. Credit to Peyton Chamberlain delivering that ball. You can see here, beautiful set. Look how fast it is, and that's part of it. The pace that the ball is going behind, again, doesn't allow the Gator block, the Florida block to set up. So you can see in that replay, they were so off the net, they weren't ready.
Callie Kimoa back to serve for Oklahoma. Stuckey comes right back to Isabel Martin, blocked by Martin and Geisberger. Triple block for the Sooners. That was punched across by August. Still going. Chamberlain sets Shelton. There's McKissick for the Gators. Kennedy Martin off the block, and Peyton Chamberlain there. Tight set. Did what she had to do.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Florida, that was just a not let that ball cross the net.
Kennedy Martin, look at Kimoa soar in to save them. Shelton got blocked way up high over August and Kennedy Martin. Who wins this point? It'll be the Gators. Sooners.
Stuckey to play that ball, to set that ball. She drew Alexis Shelton in.
Multiple Alexises in this match, and even more Martins. Two Martins for the Gators, one for the Sooners. Shelton right into the block, and then back off of Shelton out of bounds, and August was there to play it for Florida. So the Gators closing in on getting it to a 5th set. 22-16 Florida. What a swing by Lydia Martin. That was perfectly in system for the Sooners to get a much-needed side out.
Peyton Chamberlain runs the offense so fast. That's their end system, is that fast-paced ball, and you can see it right here. But she delivers that ball so quick to Lydia Martin. It's so hard to block, and that's what makes it so successful.
6 kills, .385 hitting percentage for Lydia Martin tonight. On takes the serve. Stuckey beautifully for Isabel Martin with the answer. And the Gators are 2 points away.
What a beautiful set by Alexis Shelton. There I go again. Alexis Stuckey. She held the block. She held the ball for a second, recognizing Isabel Martin was going to be one-on-one, and just delivers that ball out to the pen quickly. Martin ready for it, put the ball away.
I mean, these two setters tonight have been special. Peyton Chamberlain of Oklahoma on top of the SEC. Second actually in assists per set as Oklahoma gets the side out they need, and Stuckey sat out for a time in that 3rd set. Maybe that's refreshed her a little bit coming back from that knee injury.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a reset. They know that they're in good hands with Taylor Parks for sure. She showed it. But look at this out-of-system ball by Alexis Shelton.
23-18 Gators in system. Kennedy Martin drills one right down the middle.
That all started with McKissick's pass. The serve from Alexis Shelton was so tough. That was a hard-driven ball. And McKissick said no problem, and she started that whole play.
Set point Gators for 2 sets apiece. They could have 5 set points if needed. Here's Trinity Adams for the first time tonight. Chamberlain sets Martin, swings it. It is wide. And the Gators have tied it at 2 sets apiece. The 15th ranked team in the country. Not done yet.
And credit to the Florida block. They drew that block in. They forced Lydia Martin to go out of bounds on that play.
Oklahoma comfortably took sets 2 and 3. But Mary Wise's Gators in their SEC opener not going down without a fight. Still a lot of bite left in these Gators. As we head to the 5th set, it's anybody's match to win. We wouldn't have it any other way in the SEC opener tonight in Norman.
Doug and Lima roll, yeah. You know you gotta live it if you wanna win.
Time out. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Opener, welcome back to McCaslin Fieldhouse in Norman, Oklahoma with Kelly Files. I'm Chad McKee. Florida won the opening set 25-21. Oklahoma ran away with the middle 2 sets. But set number 4 saw the 25-time SEC champions battle back. And we go to the 5th. We play it to 15 points. And here's what's at stake. You see Florida 1-1. Had that top 25 win over Florida State in 5. And Oklahoma's win was over Tulsa on the road back on September the 13th. For Florida, they have not lost their SEC opener since 1990. And for Oklahoma, first top 25 win in 10 seasons could come here tonight. What a battle. What a way to start conference play.
Yeah, I think so. And we see the shifts in momentum. We've seen the shifts in momentum per set. And it's been offense. That's been the major difference. Florida in this last set, they tabulated 15 kills at a 3-6-7, where the Sooners 9 kills. So we've seen that in every set. The winner just offensively has just been more dominant.
So why the uptick for Florida? Why were they back to more of what they resembled in the opening set as we played through set number 4?
I really think it was just their mindset saying, hey, we got to work through this. You could see that they weren't getting down on themselves, even though things weren't clicking so much in that 4th set. They just kept working. They kept finding openings, kept just being patient, finding it, maybe not forcing the ball at times.
Is there a perceived advantage either way? Oklahoma at home with the home crowd, or a program that's won 25 conference titles, including 2022. You know, players like McKissick were a part of that championship team, but Florida's been through a lot as a program.
Let's call it a wash, Chad. Okay. I don't know, because you're right. I mean, you laid it out perfectly. I mean, there's advantages on both sides. Yeah, I think we're in for a good set right here.
And I'll tell you this, volleyball fans are in for a treat all season long watching this conference. A service error starts things. And remember, not that points aren't critical, but they're even more critical in the 5th when you play to 15.
Absolutely. You nailed it, Chad. You got to go right from the beginning. You got to take care of the ball. Not a lot of room for errors.
Callie Kimoa, the steady, consistent libero on the service line for Oklahoma. Kennedy Martin got blocked, and putting it away is Geisberger, who registers her 16th kill.
And that all started with the Sooner block. Putting pressure on Kennedy Martin, knew that she was going to get the ball. That all started there. Created that overpass for Geisberger to put it down.
2-0 Oklahoma to start the 5th. Kanan takes that serve. Out of system. But when you've got Kennedy Martin, you can be out of system and still win.
That's an out of system ball for sure. And Kennedy Martin waiting, being patient. That ball was super high. She had to really wait on that ball and went high off hands.
Difficult night for the Gators on the service line. McKissick good with that one. Chamberlain set to Geisberger, who rips one, and McKissick can't quite get it back.
And really, Florida has not been able to slow her down at all. Geisberger has been huge for the Sooners.
And she's been mistake-free. She's been targeted 21 times, 1 error, and 16 kills for her.
Having a phenomenal night.
So here's Jasmine Ellison, Oklahoma leading 3-1. Isabel Martin tips into the block, and Peyton Chamberlain, the Sooners setter, got it.
Just huge net play for Peyton Chamberlain. That right hand and just throwing that ball straight down.
Peyton Chamberlain, 37 assists, 8 digs, and 4 blocks tonight. You'll take that from your setter, won't you?
Absolutely, and she's on her way to a double-double.
Stuckey for Isabel Martin into the net. And Oklahoma with an early 5-1 lead in the 5th.
Timeout for sure by Florida. You got to do it. You got to slow this momentum. Again, we're playing to 15.
Indeed, that's what Mary Wise does. Remember, each coach gets an added challenge, and you can kind of utilize those as timeouts if you need to. Aaron Mansfield lost one earlier, so he's got 2. And the Gators haven't even challenged tonight.
Yeah.
2 sets apiece. Oklahoma with a 3-0 scoring run here in the 5th set. And let's look at the night for this transfer from Loyola Marymount. Kari Geisberger for Oklahoma, Kelly.
She's been phenomenal. She's been unstoppable, really.
Aaron Mansfield has known Kari Geisberger since she was 14. He said she was 6'2" at 14 years of age, started recruiting her to Loyola Marymount. And she accepted that invitation. They were together there for 2 All-West Coast Conference seasons for Kari Geisberger. And then Aaron Mansfield left to come to Oklahoma. He said that's one of the hardest parts about leaving for Oklahoma was the people and their families that I left behind.
Absolutely.
And when she went into the transfer portal, he said the first people I called were Kari Geisberger's parents. And here they are reunited. 5-1 Oklahoma.
And that's a huge, I just think that's a huge gift for the Sooners by the coaching staff, because Kari Geisberger knows this coaching staff. They know the process. She knows the process. She can then tell the players here at OU, hey, this is what coach means. This is, you got to look at the big picture, you know, or anything. I mean, there's all kinds of things that having that history with a coach makes such a huge difference when you're starting a new program somewhere else.
You could hear a pin drop before that serve. Stuckey, the set. Kennedy Martin with a big response. Boy, the Gators absolutely had to have that.
They needed that big time, and right now they got to take care of the ball. Kennedy Martin needs to get this serve in. She's missed several serves tonight. This is going to be huge, but look at this hit by Kennedy Martin. No doubt Alexis Stuckey is going after her. Huge.
A great angle there on the kill for Kennedy Martin. 3 Gators in double-figure kills. Fitzpatrick 16, Kennedy Martin 15, Isabel Martin 13. Also 3 Sooners in double figures. What a get that was by Oklahoma's Jasmine Ellison. She saved the point for Chamberlain to be able to get to it.
Jasmine Ellison, she really had to dive for that ball. She laid all out. Look at it again. It hits the tape. She lays out. And then credit to Peyton Chamberlain.
I think good setters have eyes.
You have to. You have to.
6-2 Oklahoma. Look at the night for Peyton Chamberlain. Aaron Mansfield says she's likely the best that he has coached at the setter position. And in to serve for the first time is Sydney Thompson. Haven't seen her tonight. Getting a piece of that one was Gibson. She'll get a swing now. Off the block, and out it goes. Gibson's 13th kill.
That play was amazing. Thompson with that huge serve. But then Peyton Chamberlain had to run to the right side of the court. She was facing us, Chad, and she backset it to Camille Gibson across the court.
How tough is it to come off the bench in the 5th set and toe the service line like Sydney Thompson?
That's why I mentioned it. It's massive, right? We haven't seen her at all, Chad. And then she comes in to a huge match. You're up.
Tipped into the perfect spot there by Kennedy Martin. Not just power, a little feathered finesse from her.
And you noticed that she came off the floor for someone to come serve, and then now she's back in for the offensive weapon. And sure enough, she puts the ball away. Gators got to go now.
Back to the service line is Isabel Martin. 7-3 Oklahoma. Beautiful set for Gibson to drill it home. What a play by Peyton Chamberlain again.
Yeah, and the Gators really, they needed a block, and it just, their timing was off. They were on their way down, and Gibson was able to find the hole. We'll watch it again, and watch the block, and watch the timing of the block. Florida's up early, so they're on their way down as she hits.
One team reaches 8 points in the final set. What a win it could be for Erin Mansfield. A program-changing type of victory. First top 25 win since October of 2014 is at hand. And for Florida,
you can't let up at all. You can't give Florida an ounce, an opening.
Somehow Fitzpatrick got that over. And there's Gibson again.
Looks like we're going to get a challenge by Florida.
Again, Mary Wise hasn't used one tonight. You get an extra one. You get an extra one if it goes to a 5th set. So she'll put the green challenge card out there. They'll have a look at it, and we will hear from Tim McKinnon in just a moment exactly what the request of the review is.
The ruling on the court is point Oklahoma. Florida is challenging whether there was a net on the final attack.
So there's the challenge, and it gives Mary Wise a chance to go through some things with her team. Initially, they said Oklahoma was clean with no net violation. From Stuckey, actually,
yeah,
on the block.
On the block, yeah, it's possible.
But I certainly think it's a good idea by Mary Wise to challenge, kind of stop things. You've tried a timeout. Now you've got a multitude of challenges remaining. So if you just see and I didn't even see the net move at all. How about you?
No, I didn't. So
I would say this, would you agree? From those two looks, I don't think you can overturn what the initial ruling was, and that's the critical element. Sooner fans, middle of a 5-set match, taking time for dance moves for the camera. I love it. So much fun in this sport, though.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what the difference is on the side, right? They're staying loose. Oklahoma's staying loose. Florida's looking a little bit more serious. They've got to figure out a way right now, one way or the other.
To review, the ruling on the court stands. Florida will lose their challenge.
So one challenge wiped away. And Oklahoma maintains a 9-3 advantage.
And so far, I love the composure by the Sooners. Just taking 1 point at a time, focusing 1 point at a time.
6 points away. Back to the service line is Ireland McNeese. Tipped into the Sooner block. Chamberlain got a piece of it and was kept alive. To the back row. Wise play that time by Alec Roth.
Yeah, absolutely. You take care of that ball. Credit to Roth. on that overpass, putting it down, getting a much needed side out for the Gators.
Roll through some substitutions, and it will see Taylor Parks go back to the service line. With Taylor Parks leading the Gators with 18 aces on the year coming in. Not a regular part of the rotation with Alexis Stuckey back, but she was so good in that setter spot. Well, Stuckey was coming back from injury. Big block there. Stuckey up front with August blocking Alexis Shelton. Big swing that time from Gibson. Gibson will tip it over, and Parks is there. Kimoa for Oklahoma took that one. Chamberlain, good set. Fitzpatrick rips one home for the Gators.
That was a hard-earned point for the Gators. They had to work for that ball. 3 touches on the block. Overpass ×2. Fitzpatrick got a ball, had to tip it over, recycle it, and then she transitioned, and then Taylor Parks delivered a beautiful ball to her on the outside.
Skims the tape. Kimoa got there for Oklahoma. Shelton blocked, but out of bounds. So Alexis Shelton, her 12th kill of the night.
Yeah, and Alexis Shelton, that's coming from the back row again, Chad. From the right side of the court. That's a hard ball to defend.
Kennedy Martin into that back corner to get the side out for the Gators. But now Florida's at a point, Kelly, they need to string together some points on their serve.
They need to go in a point run. Hey, we saw Alexis Stuckey do it in the first set.
And Oklahoma has been the better of the two teams at getting side outs tonight. Higher side out percentage. Chamberlain the set. Gibson blocked. Fitzpatrick up high.
Well, you know, Chad, if you want to steal momentum, that's one way to do it, is by getting a stuff block. Look at this block again by AC Fitzpatrick, straight down for the Gators.
Stuckey the serve this time, targeting Gibson, who can't handle it cleanly, but she got a swing. It is wide and no touch, and the Gators right back in it.
Alexis Stuckey just solid from the service line, putting pressure on the Sooner serve receive. With that ball, Gibson going out to the right side of the court, getting out of system.
3 straight points for Mary Wise and the Gators to get within 2, and a timeout taken by Oklahoma now.
Yeah, and the composure by the Gators in this 5th set alone, right? They've been down so much. They keep fighting, and we noticed that in the 4th set, Chad. Things weren't really clicking. They still won it. It wasn't looking pretty. Sometimes it doesn't look pretty, but you keep fighting, you keep believing, and their composure for sure has been something to admire tonight about the Florida Gators.
They will host number 12 Kentucky Sunday, and then number 6 Texas as well. So Oklahoma, you haven't been in this situation often to close against a top 25 team, but you're at home. Now on the other side, what does Aaron Mansfield's team need to do down the stretch?
Right, you need to put up you need to get a good pass right now. You need to side out right now. Again, don't let Florida in. No more. Get a side out here, and you get to 11, and you get the ball back, and you go on a run. So right now, you've got Gibson on the right side, and you've got Geisberger on the outside, hitting outside in this rotation, in the serve receive pattern. So look, and then you've got KJ Burgess. It's a good option. If OU gets a good pass, got 3 hitters on the front row.
Chamberlain targets Geisberger. Big block put up by the Gators. Right back to Geisberger, blocked by Kennedy Martin. August was there as well. A 3rd try. She swats it across and still going. The tip. And there was a great pancake, and Kennedy Martin takes care of it.
There you go, Chad. That is all defense. That is huge. That is grit. That's going for it. That's not letting anything fall. Alexis Stuckey digging that ball out getting her body on the floor. Let's check it out. And it looked good from up here.
No challenge by Oklahoma. 1 point set now. Chamberlain races over. Shelton swings, and it's 10 apiece. What a run by the Gators.
And Chad, that all started with AC Fitzpatrick. That started with that stuff block that went straight down. That from Camille Gibson, that just took the air out of the Sooners. And now you see the momentum shift right before our eyes.
5 straight points, 4 on serves by Stuckey, and 10 apiece. Big block put up, but swinging through it is Burgess. And Oklahoma gets a much-needed side out. Net violation, beg your pardon. So Florida gets the point.
Yeah, and it looks like net on KJ Burgess, I believe. So it looks like we're going to have a challenge.
Aaron Mansfield will elect to play the green challenge card down there. We'll get the official word, but certainly looks like it's a challenge of the net violation. Tim McKinnon will walk over, inform the score first, and now us.
The ruling on the court is point Florida. Oklahoma is challenging whether there was a net on the final.
What a turn this match has taken.
And that's what defense can do, right? When you're down, when your back's up against the wall, you got to play huge defense, and that's what the Gators did. They just turned it on, and it all started with that block by Fitzpatrick. Did you see anything, Chad?
So the initial call was a net violation and a point to Florida. Oklahoma challenging. Do you see enough evidence to overturn a net violation?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
It's moving, and it's hard to tell from that view whether or not there was contact. But there was ruled contact, and right now that's all that matters.
I'm going for it. I think it looked good. I think the block looked good. I think it was the ball that was in the net. I say Florida keeps the ball.
It would be 6 consecutive points for the Gators after Oklahoma led this set 10-5. Reviewable plays, by the way. We take a look at what all you can review.
Yeah, so you got the ball contact with player. You got the
net variety. And Mansfield's team hoping.
After review, the ruling on the court is confirmed. Oklahoma will lose their challenge.
And it will stay at 11-10. So Aaron Mansfield has challenged twice and lost both of them tonight. But does that give his team time to reset here?
Yeah, and they're just getting this point run by Stuckey. Again, we talked about it. She did it in the first set. Here she is doing it in the 5th set when it really counts.
So it's 6 straight overall, 5 off of her serves. Just when the Gators had to have it. But there's the error, and it's 11 apiece.
Much needed side out for the Sooners. They'll take it. Take it and go.
And in to serve for Oklahoma will be Whitney Wallace. So the review, almost you would say, iced the server there after a great 5-point run by Stuckey. 11 apiece in the 5th. McKissick handles the serve. And a big block. That time it's KJ Burgess who blocks Kennedy Martin.
Wow, what a block. Geisberger and Burgess just put up a huge wall on Kennedy Martin. That was massive.
Timeout Florida, 12-11 Oklahoma. The Sooners have won 2 straight. Down to the wire we go. Let's look again at that last block. As you said, Geisberger over there and KJ Burgess. 2 transfers who have factored big for Oklahoma this year so far.
Oh, no, I think it was Burgess. Let's give her credit, but Geisberger set up the block. That Stuckey was going to target her to get them a side out.
Both teams have been resilient tonight. I mean, if you think about it, The previous sets, with the exception of the first, were kind of runaways. And so then you've got to try to regroup and get yourself ready for the next set.
Right.
And each team's had an opportunity to do that.
Absolutely. And, I mean, this match has delivered, Chad. No doubt about it. The Sooners are ready for SEC play.
Who will have the finishing kick to close it out? Oklahoma's won 2 straight points. They have the serve at 12-11. So many contributors that Oklahoma has this year. Burgess just the latest on that block. So here's Whitney Wallace for another serve.
Does Stuckey go back to Martin? Also has Fitzpatrick on the outside.
And the error. 12 apiece. That is 12 service errors for Oklahoma tonight, 18 for Florida. It's been tough back on that service line both ways.
And well, it's a huge serve for Kanan. She can go on it. She's done it before, got on a huge service run.
And it's an ace. 13-12. The Gators 2 points away. And a timeout for Oklahoma now. 2 straight Florida points. Aaron Mansfield's team feeling the pressure as well tonight. Trying to come up with their first top 25 win since 2014.
Yeah, and there's pressure, right? There's a little bit of pressure. We're seeing it right now on the Sooners. Can they handle it right now? Can they take it, get it? Much needed. They were down so much in this set.
Yeah, they were down 10-5 when that happened.
Yeah.
Just a big turning point for the defense for the Gators tonight. So another serve here for Kanan. 2 straight points won by the Gators. Oklahoma taking the timeout. Remember, the 5th set goes to 15, not 25. Chamberlain set. Geisberger down the line and in to tie it at 13.
Absolutely. Find Geisberger. And she's going to put the ball away. It doesn't get any better than this, Chad.
To 15 we go. You must win by 2. Kimoa targeting Isabel Martin. Overpassed. Oklahoma gets a touch with the block up there. Set for Shelton. Drills it long. No touch. And it's match point Gators. And Aaron Mansfield's going to use the extra review that he gets in the 3rd. Let's look again.
You got to do it. Looks clean right initially, Chad. You would look at Kennedy Martin, her right hand, her fingers. You would look.
The ruling on the court is point Florida. Oklahoma is challenging whether there was a touch on the final attack.
So no touch was the original ruling. Aaron Mansfield saying that there was a Florida touch. He is 0 for 2 on challenges. Remember, you get 1 added if a match goes to the 5th set. So this would be 3 for the Sooners. A couple of more looks for you here.
So we're looking for a finger. It went Florida's way. Stuckey goes back, misses the serve, right? It was a huge, huge opportunity just to break up the run by the Gators. And it worked in Oklahoma's favor.
After review, the ruling on the court is confirmed. Oklahoma will lose their challenge.
And it's match point Gators at 14-13. Oklahoma's out of challenges. Florida has 1 left if they need it. So after being down 10-5 in the final set, the heart of a program that has won 25 SEC titles.
And who do you want to serve? Your senior, your veteran, Your libero, Ellie McKissick.
Chamberlain sets. McKissick is there to dig it out. And off the tap, it's down, and Florida rallies from down 2-1. Final kill from Alec Roth. And the Gators string continues. Successive SEC opening wins since 1990. Mary Wise's team battled back down on the road, and what fight that Oklahoma showed tonight.
Wow, Chad, that was such an amazing match for both teams. They played so well at times. Florida just couldn't get into a rhythm.